So we're going to take it. Okay, we're still seeing a lot of people signing in, so we're getting a lot of messages. Now, what is Onset? Onset is a 5-month incubator and on-the-job training for the creation of an in-studio television series. Now, the program and this program, we like to collaborate with other ministries. So we're collaborating with TTT as our distribution hub. Of course, with TTT, we have other TTTs collaborating with other streaming platforms. And so once the content is created, it will have the opportunity to be on other platforms as well. And of course, we're collaborating with exporTT. As you know, exporTT has that really good grant fund facility where you can get up to $250,000 in spend if you're purchasing equipment for your production company, right? So that is what Onset is. Now, what is happening Onset? So what happens? Firstly, we have training for writers. So of course, as you know, on Friday, your deadline, you have to submit a pilot episode as well as a 1-page identifying the 5, just a very brief summary of the 5 episodes that you want to do. Now, based on that, we will then select 5 writers who will go through a 2-day writers retreat. And within that 2-day retreat, you will choose 1 writer who will now become the showrunner. So I think I'm ahead of it, but that's what it is. Now, when you are selected, you'll go into studio and we'll have a month training or writer's room. And once we do that, then you'll get to create a television series. We'll hire a production company. That production company will have to apply. We'll be sending out a request for proposal. And that production company will be the team working alongside TTT as well as FilmTT and exporTT to create this in-studio 5-part episodic series. Now the period. So of course the training begins in May, and we want to be doing the in-studio training in June. And of course, within the period of July to September, we want to film. Now we really want to start filming the content in July. We have a very tight window in terms of even using the production studio in Mova. We'll show you a picture of it shortly. And the intention is that at least by August, we would have the completed episodes to showcase on television. We want to capture that Independence Day, Republic Day activities. Remember, we're turning 60 years this year. So hint, hint, wink, wink, your content should be along the lines of culture and Trinidad and Tobago and all those lovely, nice incentives. So that's a nice little hint and a wink there. Now, what is the writer's room? Now, the writer's room is to develop a series concept selected by the executive producers. And of course, what we actually want to do is invite a focus group, a random focus group, because, you know, as we say, we like when we get feedback from the audience, and the audience is the general public. So we're going to, when we have shortlisted the 5 filmmakers, we would like to then invite that focus group to hear your pitch, and then they will also throw in their 2 cents based on the content that you would have prepared to present. And of course, the 5 winners shortlisted will receive 2 weeks training in May. Right, is it a paid opportunity? Some of you are, what about the money? No, it is a stipend. This is a capacity development program. And if you are participating, you are aware that you are going to learn and you are going to build, and of course, get the opportunity to put your content on television and be credited as a writer, or if you're that lucky showrunner. We will offer a stipend. So that stipend is purely to cover like your travel expenses and very basic amenities. So we will offer that. Of course, the showrunner will be paid a larger stipend. So we're not saying we're going to pay. And that is also to cover the period in which the showrunner will be working on this training program. I want to make sure you'll understand it's a training program, okay? Right, so who can apply? Anyone from Trinidad and Tobago, if you're a writer, you're 18 years and over, this is for you, and you need to register on our production directory. I want to say as well with our production directory, it's important because remember FilmTT, we facilitate productions locally and internationally. And what happens is we get requests from companies internationally asking about if we have writers, if we have directors, do we have producers? Right now we're looking for location managers, hint, hint, right? So if any of you are really into location management, we're actually looking for you. So once you apply on the production directory, that is the first place we go to look for persons to recommend to the international companies. And so if you're like, why am I not getting work? Why I don't know what's happening? You need to apply to the directory. And that is where we pull information first. I'm not saying it's the only place, but we definitely encourage you to to sign up and apply. And if you are as an experienced writer, then we would also tell you to register as a writer on the production directory as well. Yeah, go ahead. Afia?
Yes, I'm here. What do I submit?
Oh, no, you can go ahead and move the slide unless it's frozen by me. Okay, right. So what do I submit? Right. So of course you have to check in our Afia, I don't know if you can pull it right now, but we're looking for a resume. You should at least have some level of writing experience that we can look at. A reference, someone who can reference or say, yes, I've actually read your work and I know you as a writer. And don't get me wrong, even if you're not published, even if you don't have a short film, at least as you know, as writers, you would have tons of material. You would have actually shared your material with someone in the past. So we want to have some level of evidence. Now, the reason why we're asking that is, although it's a training program, we really want this opportunity for writers. So if you are a writer, as we say, writers know, you know when you're a writer, you've created content, you have stacks of content available. And that's what we want to see and experience. So of course, when you go into this form, this is the form that you would need to fill in. We're looking at whatever experience you have. You upload your writing resume, upload one recommendation letter, someone who can vouch for you as a writer, as an upcoming writer, as a writer with material. If you do have any links, or if any of your content made it into a short film, a feature film, a TV commercial, theater, it could be something that would have been on stage, which is fine. You can put that link for us to look at. And of course, what you need to submit. We want to see at least the pilot episode that you are interested in shooting. And we want to see you do one page, and on that page, at least the summary for each episode. Now, why we want those two items? Some people will be reading your pilot script, but not everyone. Some people might just want to see your one page with all of your episodes to make that decision. Now, do you need to have final draft? Let me just do a quick question. You can just either show by the raise of hands or in the comment, how many of you all actually have final draft, the writing software? Don't worry, if you don't have it, that's fine, but I just want to do a quick check. Do we have final draft? Yay, nay? One person, anybody else? Anthony, final draft. Gian, final draft, that's two. All right, so we have two individuals at final draft. So what we've realized now, as much as we have rights and incentives, it's important that you do have the final draft program. And so the individual selected, FilmTT will be providing that final draft program for the individual selected. Why we're doing that is the industry standard. A lot of times when international individuals are asking us about writers, they ask us if you do have final draft. And that is it's like a spoke in the wheel when people do not use the writing software. As you know, to break down a script, you have to use a certain formatting, and that helps with the breakdown. Right, so don't worry about it. Submit your script as is. We did provide you with a sample template. You can use Word or Celtex or whatever free software you have available. But just know once you're selected, that is an additional perk in being a part of yes, Christopher. Hi, Christopher, with the final draft, right? So we will be either providing you. If you are selected and you already have it, then that's also great. But we're not judging you if you don't have it, is what we're saying, right? Okay, and of course we will, so the complete episode is 5 episodes, each at least between 22 minutes long. We're going to treat it just as if we have to get advertisers. And so that's what the other additional 8 minutes are for, right? Okay, goodbye. Right, content, what is available? What can you apply to do? We're looking for in-studio series. So we're not looking for puppets, we're not looking for animation, we're not looking for pre-K series. We're looking for sitcom in its form in terms of situation comedy, but with live action. Right, now what is a sitcom? And I know you might know, but we're still, okay. A sitcom is a television series that involves a continuing cast of characters in a succession of comedic circumstances. So it's literally their sitcom situation comedy. So nothing dark and dangerous, no abusive type stories. No, I know some of our filmmakers, we like to go real deep and emotional, but that's not what we're looking for.
Light and fun.
Yes, for this program, I'm not saying as a writer, don't do you, but for this program, should you choose to participate, this is what we're looking for in this program, right? I'm being very specific with that. Go ahead, okay. Let me look. Right, so we are showing you, I know there's modern content right now. We have House Out of Order, but we really wanted to showcase Francis and the Lord of Mercy years ago. I think it's showcased in Canada. Now, this is the concept of a sitcom. Yes, we might actually do a teaser or like an introduction, which can be filmed out and about. But the main thing is that your story should be contained within an interior location. Most of the times when you look at a sitcom, it's one or two locations. It's an office, it's a bedroom, it's a kitchen, it's a living room. It's a place that we can now dress the entire set and the characters come into the space and they leave the space. And so when you are writing, think about that in mind. No, game shows are not eligible for this particular program. Why, Seku's asking if game shows are eligible. Why we're saying no to a game show is that we want to have a writer's room. So that means that whoever is selected, we want to also have additional writers in one room to help flesh out the content. Yes, the writers will get credit, the showrunners will get credit. We'll build your IMDb profile for you. You can tell everyone you're a showrunner or you participated in writing this episode. So we're not, and let me just say, FilmTT, TTT, exporTT, we do not want your content. We don't want to own the rights. We don't want to own your product. It is yours. We're just offering you the opportunity to create your content. That's it. Right? So I hope I clarified a lot of information there. Guys, so if we're looking at the screen and we're looking at this Lord of Mercy episode, you're seeing that it's in one environment. The set is built, and that is what we're bringing in. So we'll actually be building the sets for you. So you can have, and we'll, of course, when we hire the production company, they will do the casting calls. We'll have the set construction, the props being built, just everything, you know, of course, the craft services, whatever your needs are. And you as a showrunner will be there to guide with the production Bible, the color palette. You are the boss, of course, guided by other producers, but it's your show that we don't want. We just want to help you make your content, right? So this was just an example that you can look at, but there are other modern versions, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, any in studio. I mean, I want to say Cosby Show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Golden Girls, anything that is in studio, that's what we're doing. Okay, what happens to my concept if not selected? So yes, as you know, we do let people sign NDAs. And if we do not use your content, no, we're not going and take your idea. We're not going and sell it off. We're not going and do anything with it. It's yours. And that's what we do by that NDA. And of course, we will only be working with the individuals who have been shortlisted, right? Right, what happens if you are selected? And I think I rushed it a bit, but what happens is you will become the showrunner of the television series. And as a showrunner, you should have a production Bible. As you know, we want to look at your production design. You should have a color palette and whatever concept and stories you have for your series. I want to give you a quick heads up though. Now, if you actually have more than 5 episodes and your show is a hit, then that is something that can be developed further. FilmTT's role and TTT and exporTT, we're just here to guide you. You should be thinking of, okay, even if they're asking for 5 episodes, I actually have 22 episodes, or I have, 5 seasons. Now, based on that success, remember, if it is a successful show, we're not going to be like, well, it's a successful show, let's just let it die, right? So think long, as writers, always think long term. This is just a really good opportunity we're offering to you for your first 5 episodes. And right, and of course, as a showrunner and the other writers, you will then help the showrunner develop their content. The production will occur in Trinidad and Tobago in studio at the Ministry of Communications compound in Mova. I don't know if you know where that location is, but this right now is what the studio space looks like on the left-hand side. You're actually looking at a current set, that's the planting seed set design that's there. But what will happen is we will remove that, all of that is going to be removed. And if your set is a kitchen or a bedroom or a church, a bar, well, maybe I shouldn't do bars, just saying maybe like a school, we will actually build that space in there for you as much as possible to your specs to really create that in-studio feel for you. Now on the right-hand side where you're seeing the green room is which will also be the writer's room. So during the writer's retreat and training, we will convert this into a nice space where the writers could come in, we will bring in the consultants and we will put things on the wall. As you all know, we have the production scheduler, we'll have maybe the color palette, the designs, and you really get to, we really want you all to experience a real writer's room with the incentive of, even if you don't make it in this particular cohort of it, you could now encourage other people to do it. You can go and do your own production based on you having an understanding of what is required. Right, the producer of the series. So the producer, yes, it's really FilmTT, exporTT, and TTT, but what we're looking for is an actual line producer to coordinate the production. So we will be sending out a request for proposal to find the right production company who will then work with you, the showrunner, as well as the rest of us. And now that line producer is responsible for, like we mentioned, no, the showrunner is the king, right? As we know in film, the director is king. On a TV series, the showrunner with the producers, they're the boss on set. So the line producer will be working to discuss the casting, the production design, the set dressing, just all of those nice details, right? So that is how we will do that. But we cannot select a producer until we know the type of series that we'll be making. So look out for that. So if you don't want to be a part of the writers, you might be thinking, I might be better applying as a line producer. You would have to look out for that RFP next month. Right. What happens like this series will be broadcast on TTT as well as other streaming platforms, and everyone will receive production credits, and you get to, we will also update it, like I mentioned, on IMDb. I think I saw a question coming in. How many scripts are we looking for? We're looking for 5 scripts in total, right? So it's actually 5 episodes that will be created, 5 22-minute episodes. Princess, what if your script gets selected and later on there's an opportunity to get picked up, let's say internationally? Is the showrunner binded to FilmTT or the station? No, you are not. You are not binded. This is purely, you could, if you can say, listen, FilmTT, comedy show, HBO, or whoever wants your content, we would say that is excellent. More power to you. You go do you. That is what we're offering. We do not want your content. We're not going to bind you. We don't own your characters. That's all you. Even if you want to reshoot with a bigger company, that's fine. If you want to make it over when you realize it's a huge success, that's fine. What we are offering you is really an initial, just kind of like a start to say that when you're promoting your company, you can say, I'm actually a showrunner and I've created content in my country of Trinidad and Tobago. Tish, how long does it take to join the directory if you aren't part but want to submit by the deadline? Can your application be vetted by that? Yes, it's fine. You can just send us a quick email if you're getting difficulties applying to the production directory. But once you have showcased interest, then yes, you will be a part of it. Understanding the necessity of cell text, just confirming the script sent can be submitted. Yes, you can submit your script, Tish. You could submit your script via Word, whatever platform you're using. I understand that not a lot of you all have Final Draft. We did provide a format that you can use because I have to read the scripts as well, make it easier for us. But the five writers selected, we will be providing you with the Final Draft. So once you selected, we don't want any more versions used except Final Draft, which is the international standard. And that's the rule, right? So you will get to learn Final Draft when you get admitted. Penny, so it's one right winner who should have 5 scripts. It's one winner who should have a pilot episode with a breakdown of the 4 other episodes that will be selected. When you go into the writer's room, that's when we will flesh out the other 4 episodes, right? With the assistance of the other writers and the consultants. So one pilot episode and a summary of how you plan to tell the stories for the other 4 episodes. Are there guidelines to follow, Christian? Are there any guidelines to follow when writing the script, limited location? Yes. So if you look at our FAQs, we would have provided you with a sample. And as we mentioned, limit your locations to at least 2 to 3 sets max. Like we mentioned, think sitcom. It's a kitchen, a living room, a bedroom. It's very simple locations. The characters enter the screen and they leave, right? So think about that. Also think about having at least main characters, and maybe in 1 or 2 episodes, you can bring in a cameo person and bring in a special guest, just as it's done on any sitcom you would have watched. Right, go ahead, Afia. I hope I'm answering questions as quickly as possible. Okay, what happened to the writer's copyright? Yes. Okay, so the writer, the showrunner, it's, as I mentioned, it's yours. The copyright is yours. Your content is yours. We don't want it. We will not have ownership rights. FilmTT, on behalf of the government, is just providing you with the facility to make your story, to tell your story. So we're providing you, yes, with the funding, but also the additional support in collaboration with. I also wanted to take this opportunity as a really good networking opportunity and really to test yourself and test to see if this is something that you really want to do. Like we mentioned, if the series is a hit, you could now negotiate with the platforms. You could say, tell us, well, you know, I'm good, thanks so much for this opportunity, but I want to go elsewhere. That's all your call. We did our part in helping you create your 5 episodes. But we don't own it, we don't want it. I hope that's very, very clear. You all can look at, we do have more information on our FilmTT on set link so that you can get the data. Afia is just pulling that up so you can look at it for additional information if you felt that I haven't answered any of your questions. And all right, so good. So we're open for questions now, Afia, I think. That was really quick, see? All right, Princess was asking how many days of filming in studio. Now, because we do not know the stories that we have, it's difficult to decide on how many filming days, but when because we did a site visit location, we're looking at least 5 days of filming. As you know, when you are doing in studio content, you can actually have the actors rehearse as quickly as possible or as long as possible, and then it's really when we have the 3 cameras set up. And so it's not like film where you have to do several different setups and the breakdowns and the camera move. It's literally camera, actors come in, record, take 1, take 2, take 3. And so that allows us more time to record so we can do more content. We're actually aiming to get 2 episodes done a day, but if we can't do that, at least we want to do 1 episode a day. Remember, it's the same actors we're using and they're able to repeat the content as quickly as possible. I hope that answers your question. Does the showrunner get to cast the actors? That's a very good question. The showrunner is like the director. So even if we have the casting call, the showrunner will have a say on who's selected. Now, remember, we're also looking at actors who, yes, they should be good at acting, but they should have some level of claim to fame as well, or something that we can use to market. We are going to treat this pilot project as real world as possible. Hi, Diane. We have Diane from TTT here with us. So Diane, feel free to, if you have any other questions you want to just kind of, or comments, you can feel free to chime in. But we wanna do it just as real as possible, thinking of really good characters or actors who can build the appeal. Maybe even if for your script you can write in a cameo appearance. One of the fun facts with FilmTT and with TTT and exporTT involved, we can reach out to other celebrity cameos on your behalf and say, listen, we're doing this pilot project where if you're interested in doing a brief cameo, we would appreciate that. And we could also assist you as producers on that as well. And yes, so yes, there will be an open call. Who's asking this, Princess? But the open call will be once we have selected the scripts, once we have selected the production company, then the production company will be responsible for the casting call. And then the showrunner will be right there to help with selecting or shortlisting the characters or the actors. Right, Andre said, I may have missed this, but reformat of the show, should we write accommodating a laugh track? Depending if that's your content, you should do that. But we did provide you with a format that's on the website that you should use. If your content requires a laugh track, then you can put that in. If not, that's not a problem. Yes, yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, that's fine, Andre. So you can or you don't have to, that's not a problem. Any other questions? Are you all clear with what we're asking for? You can thumbs up, you can raise your hand if you want to ask a question, use your lovely voice. That is not a problem as well. Yes, Trini Media Films, go for it.
I know that TTT is here watching. I would like to find out if in the future, besides sitcoms, would they be interested in action or any other kind of genres?
Diane, that's all you. I can answer that question. I hope you're still here.
Hi,
Did we
good
lose
afternoon,
all?
everyone. Yes, we're working in collaboration with FilmTT on this project as an opportunity to give filmmakers, producers, screenwriters an opportunity to learn and grow in this area of the studio production. However, yes, TTT is open to narrative action, films and series being submitted, but in the confines of this particular project, it is a sitcom. But outside of that, definitely yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. Rory.
Yes, hi everyone. So like I said, like sitcom, we're going to keep it light. But I know some sitcoms that are light, but they might have little pockets of drama here and there, like not like very serious, but like like not on the funny side, but like a little serious. Is that like something that you okay with? Or be like that's just no, we don't want anything serious at all.
Well, this is where you need to be guided that this is a government-funded program, all right? So yes, you can have serious notes. It doesn't have to be fully comedy, haha, because as we know, there's also some real-world situations. But be guided that it is a training program. It is a government-funded program. We're not saying don't create content you like to create. We're saying if you are participating in this particular program, then we're asking for certain palettes. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thanks. Just one more question. Yeah.
Sure.
Just to confirm, you said it was like you want one episode and then a summary of the other 4 episodes.
Correct.
Okay, so the one episode should be, how much pages the one episode should be?
22 pages, about 22 minutes. If this is, sorry?
Yes, you said the one episode should be 20 pages and just summarize the other 4.
Correct.
Hello?
And this is where the writing program is important, because once you're using the right software, then if it's 22 pages, is 22 minutes of screen time. So if you at least use the format we provided on the website, then that could kind of guide your presentation. What is the font size? It's usually around 12. What we can do, Penny, we can put up the specs. I'll do a 1 page and we'll put up the writing specs. So the font you should use, the size of the font and the spacing, right? So we can do that so that you all can have a clear idea of it. So yeah, so 22 pages, which equals 22 minutes. 22 minutes max or minimum. We're aim for the max, Christopher. That's a very good question. How other than 22, remember we want to really do the half hour sitcom type, and we want to allow for the 8 minutes of ads. What we really want to do is approach the private sector, get additional funding, and really just kind of build the industry in a way that we can encourage more sitcoms to be created. So if each of you all create a sitcom in the very near future, that will be awesome. That's more content, and we have everyone saying, wow, Trinidad and Tobago is really creating content, which is what we want this program to do, to really kind of fire you all up to create content. So Christopher, ideally 22 minutes, yes. Oh, Radira, I almost missed your question. If a show has a strong concept format, but medium comedy, would you rely on the writer's room to pun? Yes, that's a very good question. And that is the purpose of the writer's room. So we're selecting persons based on the type of content and the potential of it. And then when you go into the writer's room, that is when now we can let more creativity unfold and you can get support and feedback from the other writers to help punch it up. Now, remember too, as a showrunner, let's say Leslie is creating, I'm using me, but I don't want to just look like I'm choosing someone from the group, right? So if I create a pilot and then I go into the room and Regina, Afia, Diane, they're helping me as writers. Regina could actually write the second episode, but Regina is using the characters that I would have created as a showrunner. Regina gets the writing credits. Regina wrote episode 2, but the showrunner gets the overall credit for creating the content. So that is exactly how it's done. The showrunner may not actually write all the episodes, or let's say Regina and Afia help writing episode 2, then they get that writer's credit, but still the showrunner will always be said created by Leslie. And just like I have Dick Wolf, Shonda Rhimes, they do not write all of the episodes. I hope that's clear as well. So writers have potential to help you flesh it out. And there, I hope I answered your question. Any other questions?
Okay, it seems as though we have answered everyone's questions. I apologize for that earlier. My internet knocked me off of the meeting. However, I've been monitoring the questions and I think that we have come to a good place where I think everyone is good. And if you guys need any more information, you can obviously send us an email to info@filmtt.gov.tt. Don't forget to check out the website, which is filmtt.co.tt/onset. There you will find all of the information about the program. You can go through the FAQs, and of course, there is the link to submit your application. So don't forget that the deadline is this Friday.
Yes.
So we hope that you guys will continue to write, or if not, are fired up to write. We're looking forward to your submissions. We're seeing some coming in already. And just to jump on Leslie's earlier point about the production directory, please note that this is a directory that we use for productions. So in the event, let's say that you're a novice writer and you're now getting your credits, just know if you're a student, because we've gotten some student interest as well. If you're a student, just know that your production credits, as for student programs, you will have to be listed as an intern until you develop those production credits, because after this program, we of course would like to give writers more opportunities. So for those who have the experience, we want to be able to showcase you when you have those production credits. But of course, you can always reach out to us. And if we have, well, I think we have one more question in the chat. Okay, no, that was very, okay. Thank you, Princess. Thank you, Lisa.
I have one quick, just one thing just to clarify, if I can.
Go ahead.
In final draft, the sitcom setting, it actually has a couple of pages where you kind of like break down the characters and the setting. Would that count towards the 22?
No.
Or that's okay?
That's fine.
Okay,
that's encouraged. That's encouraged. Yes. So we'll kind of I forgot to mention limited characters. Please don't have like 10 plus characters. Think at least 5 main characters, 4 main characters with cameos. Or even if you have 4 main characters, maybe episode 2 we have 2 special guests. Or if let's say you have a musical performance, you can, whatever it is, just really your main reoccurring characters should be limited, and your locations, think of your sets to be very limited as well, just for this particular program. Okay, I don't want to stunt your creativity. Thanks, Christopher. That was a really good question.
Thank you so much, Christopher. Thank you for that clarification. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We look forward to seeing your submissions on Friday. Okay, and I look forward to seeing everybody on set.